Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend.
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
Yes, sir. We talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us.
For sure. And this is a live, interactive broadcast. What does that mean exactly?
That means that we are live on multiple platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Daily Motion, whatever we're on now. And we want your comments. We want your questions. We want all that stuff because sometimes our show can take a different direction.
For sure. And it is May 3rd, 2024, 2023. I just hopped in a time machine and came back a year. I'm slightly from the
Murphy's Inc. status, huh?
Sorry. So it is May 3rd. This is the eve of May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
There's going to be a lot of stuff dropping tomorrow from what I've heard and seen. So,
ooh, excellent.
That should be fun. Like a full-on Ahsoka trailer, probably trailer for the Acolyte, probably trailer for Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a lot of good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So, I am excited for May the 4th tomorrow.
So be tuned into Disney Plus tomorrow.
Well, for me, I just go to YouTube.
Yeah,
the stuff usually drops there first.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are back to our regularly scheduled content. Last week we did a bit of a deviation to focus on post-cruise catch-up, you know, how was the cruise and all that kind of fun stuff. If you missed that episode, if you were interested how our cruise went and everything, go check that episode out.
Check it out.
And one of the things that we like to do here at the top of the show is talk about, food and drinks, for example. And one of the things that did happen on our vacation, if you will, was you did a wing challenge. And we talked about that last week, and there was a request. Some people wanted to see you actually completing it. And so here we go. So I'm not sure what happened to the video. I'm going to have to go re-edit that, but that is on our page. If you haven't seen it, and it does have the audio, we did a live cast, 4 minutes and 10 seconds from the time you basically picked up your first wing to the time you finished cleaning off your fingers there. And you had 7 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't realize I did it that fast.
4 minutes and 10 seconds. And then you had to sit there for another 3 minutes and 50 or 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Had to wait it out.
Yes. But you could see the tears and the snottle, and your hands are shaking.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad.
So
can't do that. I think I'm out of. I think I'm done with wing challenges, bro.
Really?
I think I'm done with wing challenges.
That's kind of a little disappointing because
I'm just getting. I think I'm done with the. I think I'm done with the food challenges. Or not with the food challenges, but just with the. I think I'm not going to be able to do the spicy challenges anymore. At least I can do. There's other food challenges I think I could probably do, but.
So Tyrus wants you to bring some baby food on the show and eat some baby food. Why not? I mean, it's basically applesauce, right?
Not all of it.
No, but I mean, you could
taste test. Do an adult taste test on baby food.
Yeah, why not? No, I think we should do that. I think next week you should bring on.
Who's buying? I have to buy them.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. Well,
you got to put something in for this show, man.
Try and see what interesting flavors they have out there.
Yes, and so
I've seen some from the those tube ones that they have, those new ones, those tubes. with like they're like some of them have applesauce, but you twist the top off. Yeah.
And Jenny would like you to do specifically meat baby food, and I agree. I would like to. I'd like to see that. And Tyrus was saying the guy that took the challenge before you, he said that the heat was baby food. So I think Tyrus is calling you out as a sucker fool.
Oh well, that's fine. I'm just saying, like he was. I think he took longer than I did.
That's true.
Yes, and but yeah, no, we both.
I don't think he booted though.
Huh?
I don't think he went in the bathroom and booted.
Oh, he did. His came out the other end.
How do you know that?
I was in the bath. I went into the bathroom, and he was still in the bathroom, and he's like, I'm paying for it."
Good times. Well, that leads me to, as I said, we like to talk about food and drink at the top of the show. And Tyrus had procured this for me on the cruise.
Yeah.
So this is, they say it's a travel exclusive. So I guess evidently you can only buy these on cruises or something. So this is a Johnnie Walker Black Label blended Scotch whiskey, triple cask edition. It's a special blend. This special blend inspired by Black Label includes 2 whiskeys from the Black Label Reserves, vibrant fruity malts from Cardew, and creamy grain whiskeys from Cameron Bridge for a whiskey with layers of spice, soft ripening orchard fruit, and sweet vanilla notes. So, yeah, I figure let's give this thing a shot. What do you think?
Yeah. Might as well. I didn't know there was like a. I thought Johnnie Walker Black was Johnnie Walker Black.
Well, and there is Johnnie Walker Black Label, standard Black Label, but as you can see,
there's like the little gold underneath.
Yeah, it specifically says triple cask edition.
Oh,
so let's see. This is a 40% alcohol by volume. It's a 1 liter bottle. And they say 30 milliliters is equal to a shot.
What's the proof on that one?
Well, if it's 40%, that would mean
it's 80 proof.
Oh. Ooh, that smells very nice.
Hit you right there, huh?
In a great way.
Yeah.
Johnnie Walker Blue is my favorite of the Johnnie Walkers that I've had. And Johnnie Walker, when it hits your nose, like there's almost a brown sugar sweetness to this.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Triple cast.
I'm just going to do a little.
Yeah.
Just to give it a shot. Let's see.
Yeah. Wait, Stones?
I wanted to try it straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I generally like my whiskey Stones because I like it to be chilled.
Yeah.
The first time trying it.
Well, make it happen.
That is very good.
Yeah.
That's very smooth. There is definite sweetness in the middle and on the back. That is a very enjoyable, because I'm not a big fan of Johnnie Walker in general. Blue is the only one that I really have enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice.
Yeah.
So, good pick, Tyrus.
Yeah. I want to get some of that, after the cruise. I definitely want to try and find some of that Screwball.
Screwball, man. That will go to Costco. They should have it there.
Well, I never trust this Costco over here.
That's true. But yeah,
I got to go over there tomorrow anyway. So, but I'll see if they have any. But
did you end up having peanut butter and jelly?
No.
Screwball and Chambord?
No, I think because they didn't have Chambord.
Oh yeah, they did.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Or maybe
for
it was
some
just
reason
the bar we went to. It didn't have Chambord.
Oh, because for some reason they seem to keep Chambord in the refrigerators. So I thought that was interesting.
Wow.
Because it's not one you would standardly keep in there. Goldschlager, yes. Yeah. Jaeger, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 2 times I had something with Chambord, I saw them take it out of the fridge.
Was that in the Haven?
Yes.
No, okay, because we went to Might have just been the bar that we were at, because that was at the where we did karaoke. So it was
in the cavern.
So
well,
yeah,
down there. I didn't mention it last week, but in the cavern, I went into the bar and asked for a glass of the champagne I was drinking, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're out of that." And I'm like, "No, you're not. I just had some, at another bar." And they're like, "Oh well, we don't have it at this bar." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go across the hall to the wine bar that's right there and get it." Oh, and like as I'm walking to the door, because I'm like PO'd at this point, the bartender comes up and she's like, "Oh well, I can go get it for you." No, I'm already done walking over there.
Yeah,
like you should have said that to begin with.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's available.
let's dive into some content, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. First up, we've got free comic book weekend coming up at Dreamwell Comics in Carson City. And the main reason that we're calling this out is because our friends over at Pop Culture Kaboom, they are doing some events there. So the show Pop Culture Kaboom is hosted by Jimmy Jones, and Spencer Stoner's another one of the gentlemen on the show. And so there's a meet and greet with Jimmy, as well as a book signing by Spencer, who has a number of books. Let's see, what are they? Dead Meat, Ophelia, Divine Intervention. And then on Sunday from 6 to 9, Pop Culture Kaboom will be doing actually their show as a live broadcast from Dreamwell Comics. So.
Nice. That'll be good. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, so it used to be free comic book day, and now it's the entire weekend.
That's good. Get those comics out there.
Yeah, so they'll have 50 plus free comic book titles, special promotions, 25% off, comic sets, incentives, and exclusives, a raffle with graded and signed books.
Raffles.
So that sounds like, a lot of fun. I haven't had a local comic book store to call home in a long time. I think, when we lived in the Bay Area,
there's a number of them.
Yeah. So talking about, other shows and podcasts, things of that nature. I was recently interviewed alongside Tara Eon on a show called The First Episode Of, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But the episode finally released.
Yep.
And me and Tara, we were there to talk about the first episode of Murphy's Inc. And how the show kind of came together, and talk a little bit about ourselves and who we are and what our background is. It was a lot of fun. And I think
it's a good interview.
Taking the, I think our interview with the gentleman was somewhere around an hour 15. And him condensing it down to, around 30 minutes.
And had little clips of the show as well, which is good. So
yeah, it was definitely an enjoyable experience. And then hearing the episode, I think it was really well produced and put together, very thoughtful in the selection. And I didn't feel at all that it was misrepresenting or anything taken out of context or anything like that. And that's part of why we do a live show versus an edited show, is because then, it's hard to take something out of context, where when you're taking an hour-long conversation and you're picking things. But I think he did a very good job. I don't think there was any misrepresentation. So
no, like I said, it sounded good. I listened to it this morning. So yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate what they're doing there. So this next one, though, you're going to have to talk about, because I have not seen the previous in the series. So yeah.
I think the post explains it all. I said, Denzel is a bad man. So this is Equalizer 3. If you haven't seen Equalizer 1, Equalizer 2, I'm not sure. This might be one of those that you could see out of, speaking of in context, I think you might be able to watch this one on its own if you're a Denzel fan. But the other two are enjoyable films. I like the first one better than the second one. And this one looks like it's in more of the vein of the first one. So I'm hoping it's another good film. But yeah, no, always loved seeing Denzel, and especially action Denzel is pretty dope.
And of course, this was what we have posted on the page. It is a Red Band trailer.
Yeah.
So NSFW James, it'd be good if you'd put that stuff on there, because I started watching it and I'm like, oh, I should not be watching this on my work laptop.
I didn't realize it was a Red Band trailer, so that's also.
Oh, because in the first 3 to 5 seconds, there's like a lot of blood. That should have made it pretty clear to you.
I'm just saying, I didn't realize it was a Red Band trailer.
Yeah. So, again, having not seen the first two, I don't know how inclined I feel to go see this. But I do feel like watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, I get the gist. This is the black version of Taken.
Minus the kidnapping and stuff.
Sure, but, ultimately, and evidently Tyrus agrees with you.
Yeah.
That 1 and 2 were both awesome. Unfortunately, the TV show with Queen Latifah was a train wreck. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it was actually on CBS. They had an Equalizer series, and I didn't watch it, so I don't know if she was supposed to be somehow related to him, or if it was just kind of a whole different thing. I was like, I like Queen Latifah, but yeah, I just didn't see. I was like, I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah, I can't speak to it whatsoever. If when I'm able to see 1 and 2 on a streaming service, and then 3 becomes available, I might watch it. For sure, I'm not going to go to the theater to see this. Will you go to the theater to see this?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this one? Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm thoroughly confused.
Okay,
especially after this trailer came out.
Before you give away why you're thoroughly confused, is part of why you're thoroughly confused because of a quick shot of New York?
No.
Okay, let me throw mine out first, because I'm curious. So the trailer, obviously, the Autobots or whatever, they've gone to ground. They're trying to avoid humans, it seems like, to an extent. But one of the shots is a quick shot of New York with the Twin Towers.
Yes, because it's supposed to take place in 94.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So there's in this trailer, it says something about 1994. And that's the part that confused me, because I'm like, wait, I thought that Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, I thought they came later. Like, apparently Bumblebee had already been here, because based on the Bumblebee movie and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just thoroughly confused by their timelines now, because based on the other movies, it seemed like it was whenever those movies came out, like the early 2000s, right?
So you're saying that you think potentially this film is a prequel?
That's the way it feels. Like the way it seems to be set up, it seems like a prequel. But that's what I'm saying. What's confusing me is that if those movies did Optimus leave and then came back because he's a truck in this, and then he becomes a truck in the very first Transformers movie. The thing comes down, the truck drives by, he becomes a truck.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm confused, because I'm like, yo, were those supposed to be in like the 90s, and this is continuing that, or what? Because that's the part that's confusing.
As Tyra says, thanks to Michael Bay, this entire franchise has no continuity. For some reason, I thought Beast Wars happened on Cybertron.
No, so I think Beast Wars was there was that animated series that was like, what was that? Late 90s. That was that computer animated series that was on like UPN or something back in the day. And I do remember seeing some of those. I didn't watch the entire thing, but it's like the Predacons and the Maximals, or whatever they were called in that series. And that's kind of what this is based on. But at the same time, I'm confused by the whole timeline of things.
Yeah, I
definitely want to see this. I want
in
to
the
see
theater.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even though you're not even sure that you've seen every other film before now.
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen everything. With because I saw all the ones with Shia LaBeouf. I saw the ones with and then I saw was it 2 or 3 with Mark Wahlberg? I think it was 3 with Mark Wahlberg. And that was 6. I saw Bumblebee. And I think this is the next one since Bumblebee.
Yeah, I have no clue. I feel like there's probably like 13 Transformers films at this point.
Not including the original animated series, not the original animated movie and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm so like, I think I watched the first 2 or 3 films. If there was somewhere where I could go and watch them, streaming free, because I've got a ton of services, right? I've got Netflix, Hulu,
Yeah.
Disney Plus, which of course is not there, HBO Max, Peacock, like all of these, and they're not on any of them. So I don't know where the Transformers films are and why they're not available. And Tyler says the franchise lost me when Leonard Nimoy voiced Sentinel Prime instead of Galvatron.
It was whatever.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Trailer that did drop today that I am quasi excited about, Dune 2 or Dune Part 2. We talked about this a little bit before that Part 1 is a bit of a snooze fest, which is true. It's very political, it's very dry, it's very world building and setup. But I think if you've read the book, that's pretty spot on. The first 65% of the book is there's not a whole lot of action. And Tyrus is heading back to work. Have a good rest of your shift, man.
Yes, sir.
And but yeah, the first 65% of the book, it's world building, it's setup. And then and even then, the last 35% is not a crap ton of action. It's still, I would consider it the Andor sci-fi film.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the first one in the theater. I watched on HBO Max when it released. This is going to be on HBO Max as well. That's where I'll watch it. I have no interest in going to the theater to see it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been trying. I gotta get through the first one. It's been tough.
You just gotta stay awake, man. Don't watch it when you're sleepy.
Yeah, I just gotta wake up and watch it.
Speaking of multiple parts within a series and everything, so releasing tomorrow, and I don't have an image for it, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Do you plan to see it?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah. It comes out. It's released on Friday. Yeah. No,
I'm going to see it tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll probably, if I can find, I mean, I'm sure there'll be something I can find a ticket to go see it tomorrow.
What are your thoughts, feelings? Are you excited? Because it sounds like by everything that's come out so far, it sounds like this is it. Because obviously, Gunn has moved on to DC.
Right.
This is probably the last thing he'll be involved with Marvel.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I know some of the people are kind of done, kind of over the series, I guess. But I'm hoping that, they don't have to, they won't have their own film, but hopefully they'll show up, in later concepts or whatnot. They'll make an appearance, I guess.
Well, what I'm worried about, and I really hope is not the case, is that they just killed them all off.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, some of the trailers have been, some of the clips in the trailers have been, I think, kind of probably purposely misleading. But yeah, I'm hoping they don't kill everybody off. I hope they make it. If anybody does go, it's people that want to kind of get out of the series, and they've written them. They do it in a way that's satisfying. Like, yeah, it would suck to see them go, but they go out in a blaze of glory or something, or basically making a sacrifice type deal, kind of how Tony Stark did.
No, I agree. And it's interesting. There was a story that came out this last week that James Gunn's original plan actually was to kill off Gamora in part 2, volume 2. And it was, going to help Peter grow as a character and everything, right?
I think that's kind of what they did with in what was that?
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah, but the original plan was to do it in volume 2, where it's like, oh crap, well, what would they have done when Thanos went to get the Soul Stone, right? Like,
yeah.
And so I guess James Gunn was told, no, you can't do that. We need her for Infinity War. And that's when they decided to kill off Yondu, which was not planned.
Oh, interesting. But again, that was another. Yondu was one of those deaths that was actually he was sacrificing himself. It was for a purpose, and so like that's what I'm talking about.
And that's the thing. If you think about the Guardians films, so Groot in the first film, he sacrificed himself, right? He comes back, but he,
because he has spores, yeah,
sure. And in the second one, we had Yondu, and so more likely than not, we're going to have at least somebody go. And by all accounts, and watching interviews, it sounds like your buddy Dave is done, and he wants to be done with superhero films in general. So there's that one. The way the trailers are coming across make it
looks
seem
like Peter.
I was thinking Rocket.
Oh, it looked like the one, because it looked like he there was that one where they're carrying. It looks like Peter that's being carried.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it and see. Because I very much think we're going to still have Guardians of the Galaxy moving forward.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I think they'll be there. I think the ones that kind of want to be done can kind of move on, but like at least I think
and I think we'll bring in more, because I don't know how much you know about the Guardians in the comic books, but it's almost like a rotating cast of characters similar to the Avengers.
Oh, okay.
And so, for example,
that,
if you recall back to like volume 2, we get introduced to like Sylvester Stallone, and even
the Ravengers, right?
Yeah, the Ravengers from those crews. Those characters are also some of them have rotated into the Guardians, so it's entirely possible we could see some of that.
Yeah, and so so this is going to be kind of a culmination of the other, bringing in stuff from volume 2 and all that kind of stuff as well. So
for sure. So we'll see where that goes.
And I'm also excited to see how the Christmas special ties into it as well.
Agreed. Since we're talking about some Disney stuff, we got our first teaser trailer for Disney Wish.
Yeah.
And I watched this trailer and I was still extremely thoroughly confused. And so just before we went live,
you and me both, brother.
I went onto the Disney Media Kit page and found the official synopses. Would you like to hear it?
Might as well.
Here we go. As Walt Disney Animation Studios celebrates its 100th year, the all-new original feature film Wish asks the question, how did the wishing star, upon which so many Disney characters wished, come to be? Set in the magical kingdom of Rosas, the story includes Asa, voiced by Ariana DeBois, an optimist with a sharp wit who deeply cares about her community. When Asa turns to the sky in a moment of need and makes a wish, her plea is answered by a cosmic force, a little ball of boundless energy called Star. Together, they face the most formidable of foes to save her community and prove that when the will of one courageous human connects with the magic of the stars, wondrous things can happen. So this is primarily from the team that brought you Frozen and Frozen 2.
Yeah.
The song, I will say, the song that is used in this trailer, I felt nothing. I'm just like, what is this?
I think for me, I wasn't really paying attention to it because I was confused by everything else that was kind of going on in it.
Yeah.
There's a lot being thrown at you in this trailer.
Yeah. So I'm very confused as well. Like, obviously, this is a theoretical place, Rosas. It's not like an actual country or something like that. And timeline wise, when is this set? Like, it seems like,
like I said, I think this is prior to Pinocchio, prior to everything, because they even talk about that this is where the wishing star that so many characters have made a wish upon, and for one of the first times that we see that is in Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, this has to be before that, and kind of the backstory of that. It's wishing star and all that kind of stuff, I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I was already slightly annoyed by the goat.
Yeah, I heard the voice and I was like, no, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the voice of the goat.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure I will end up watching it because, now that I have a little kid, I watch a lot more of the new Disney releases than I have before, since I was, the kid, teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of when we were kids and teenagers, we're getting another reboot. The Tiny Toons Looniversity.
Okay. I would like to first off by saying cool, but I'd also like to follow that by saying I'm not a fan of Babs or Buster's voice in this one.
Agreed, 100%. When I saw the image, when I was like Tiny Toons Looniversity, before I clicked on the trailer to watch, I was like, you know what I was feeling like?
I'm juiced, bro.
Yeah. I was like, yes, because I remember Tiny Toons vividly as a kid.
I love Tiny Toons.
I loved the Tiny Toons video game on Sega or whatever it was on. I thought Tiny Toons was great because I loved the Animaniacs. I loved that we're around
this
that
was
same time.
Yeah, this was like one of the first ones, because this is when Warner Brothers was finally getting back into the
this was what really started it all, right?
Yeah.
And so the fact that they were playing on the original Looney Tunes, and then you in these episodes you would have Bugs Bunny or Elmer Fudd or
Daffy Duck. Yeah, you would have these characters show up. Yeah.
So I absolutely loved the original Tiny Toons. This, on the other hand, I'm like, the animation looks very similar stylistically.
Right.
It looks like they've, I guess, possibly aged a bit.
Yeah, it looks like so I remember they were going to Acme Looniversity. So this is like, everything seems like they might be a little bit older. But again, I don't know how, I mean, it looks like they added Lola to the cast, which is cool. But other than that, I'm just like, I think it's really the voices. Because like when the Animaniacs came back, they brought back like the original cast to do the voices of Wacko, Yakko, and Dot. That's who primarily it revolves around. Anyways, everybody else can be whatever. But like this one, I don't know if the original something happened to the original characters, or they don't sound the same or whatever. But I was not a huge fan of these voices, and that kind of turned me off. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll probably watch a few episodes. And if it has the same, I can get over the voices if everything else is good.
Yeah, if the content is good, I guess I can forgive it. But it would probably, I don't feel juiced anymore. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I first saw when I saw that you posted, I was like, dope, and then I was like, oh,
yeah.
But here's something we can talk about. Something we are juiced about, though.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Ding ding. You saw that other video posted, right?
Yeah, so James posted a video onto our page of this gentleman on TikTok, Instagram, who basically does a lot of mixing of Star Wars music into like music and the way that he sells it is, hey, when you're DJing a wedding and the bride and groom like the Mandalorian. And I've seen those before. And so, when I saw that you posted, I was like, okay, yeah, I've seen that before. The guy is fire. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, some of the mixes that he puts out, it's like, wow, I would not have expected that.
Yeah. There was another one I saw just yesterday or this morning or something that was with the Avengers, which is pretty cool too. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, he's good. But yeah, so the Mandalorian, we haven't had the chance to talk about it.
No.
So it had its season finale while we were on the cruise.
Yeah.
And the week before, we were in Seattle.
Yeah.
And so we haven't really talked about the last 2 episodes. And that's okay. We don't need to at this point. But what I do want to talk about is the series in general, where it is and where it's left off now, and what you're thinking, feeling.
Okay, so the way it ended, I was okay with it. And then I was kind of like, wait, what about, like, the ending was a little unsatisfying. Like the very, very ending was a little unsatisfying.
So it felt like, to me, so the Mandalorian is not, in my opinion, is not Din Djarin. The Mandalorian is just a mantle for the series. And I have a feeling that if when we move forward, season 4, for example, I think the Mandalorian, or the primary focus, is going to be Bo-Katan.
Yeah. I have a feeling about that too. Like, basically, like, the whole rebuilding of Mandalore, the finding other Mandalorians that might be out there. Like, so I'm thinking with the whole thing with Din Djarin, Grogu, they're gonna have to be involved with Ahsoka somehow.
I don't know. I don't know that
they don't even actually, not even necessarily. They don't even have to. Now I say that, yeah, they don't necessarily have to.
I think we're gonna.
He's kind of in a good spot. I think he is in a good spot.
They're going to sit there until we have a Thanos level threat in Thrawn.
Yeah, and that was a cool thing with this whole, like, kind of underground empire group that's talking about this Thrawn coming back. This grand reemergence of Thrawn, which if you've watched Rebels, you'll understand. Like, Thrawn's a bad dude. Like, I think, like, as far as characters go, he would give mind game wise, and intellectually wise, I think he would almost give Palpatine a run for his money.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like Palpatine was playing he was playing the super long game. Like he showed 0 cards. And even when we already knew who he was, so from the beginning, but when he finally reveals himself in the films and shows how he became all disfigured and everything else, you realize, like, man, this guy has played these, like, everybody else was playing checkers. This dude was playing some serious chess, right? Like, Thrawn is on, like, that serious kind of level. He's mean, but he's smart about everything that he does. He makes no moves without thinking them out.
And we know that Thrawn is coming because his name was even dropped. We
had that over the shoulder shot of him too. So in the Ahsoka trailer.
And I wish they wouldn't have dropped that in the Ahsoka trailer. I wish they would have saved that for this finale of Mandalorian and had it drop there. And then you could immediately after that drop the Ahsoka trailer.
Yeah.
So I feel like it kind of killed the surprise of that moment a little bit.
Well, it kind of explained the thing is that, like, because the trailer had already dropped, but at the same time it was like, seeing that, it was like, oh, okay, so there's something bigger going on here. So,
and something that keen-eyed fans seemed to notice was that Moff Gideon didn't have a mustache. but he did previously. And so there are people that are saying that the Moff Gideon that was blown up in the finale was not Moff Gideon, but was one of his clones.
But I thought okay, that's true, because he could have just been like, because they destroyed the other ones, but maybe there was one that was done. Yeah, that's true. Good point. I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so we may not have seen the last of Moff Gideon. I will say that I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a little bit more story with these two.
Well, we saw she was the one that made the phone call
to Moff Gideon. Yes.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it seems like he's just kind of indisposed. Like, I don't know where he is, and yeah, that was just kind of we talked about that episode being kind of a throwaway.
I don't know if you remember, but they were talking about doing a Ranger series.
Yeah.
And when everything happened with What's Her Bucket, the MMA fighter,
yeah,
that kind of got put on the back burner. But I think you've found your new lead.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah,
he is really good, and I think that would be that's a good call.
Yeah, and obviously this, with Grogu inside of,
that was awesome.
That was amazing. Yeah, I think I am happy with where the series is, and it very much felt like the series is done. Like, if that was the end of the series,
I'm okay with that.
I'd be fine with it. I know it's not. I know that we're going to get more. Yeah. I know that, there's, as we know that was announced, Filoni is making a film that's going to be the bookend to the television series. And so, for sure, Din Djarin's going to come back. Grogu's going to come back. If not before, at least at that point, they're going to be in this movie, right?
Yeah.
But if we were done, if this was it until that movie, I'm okay. If there is no season 4, if the next time we get anything Mandalorian is then, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was just I just felt like almost there needed to be something a little bit more. But when I think about it, he's at peace.
He earned it. I mean,
when
you think about everything he's done over the 3.25 or 3.5 seasons,
making sure bathing in the waters, making his penance that he needed to make, doing all that stuff was again, he did everything that he set out to do. He returned Grogu to his kind, and then Grogu came back to him.
I will say the only thing that I was super disappointed in with the finale and the last few episodes is I really wanted Boba to show up. The fact that Boba didn't show up was a bit disappointing to me. Considering Mando went and helped Boba, it would have made sense for...
He sent a call out. We need your help. Yeah.
And because Boba, while he's a clone of his father, but his father...
Still Mandalorian.
Right. So...
That could be, if they decide to do another season, that could come into play as well.
Sure. I just feel like that was an opportunity missed.
Yeah. I think that, that could have been something interesting. Actually it was funny because I was, when we were on the cruise, we were talking about, on the zip line, we were talking about Mandalorian and we were talking about stuff like that. One guy was like, "Oh, I don't like Mandalorian." And I was like, pretty much everybody was like, "Huh?" And my whole thing, I was asking, I was like, "Yo, like, how is it that we've gone to so many different planets? We know all these different species. We know all these different races based on and know where they're from. But Yoda, what was Yaddle, Grogu, we don't know what species they are. So we don't know what planet they're from. But apparently somebody was saying that that's the way George Lucas wanted it.
So I watched an interesting interview with George Lucas recently, back in the 80s or early 90s. And he basically says that his original plan was actually to have Obi-Wan continue into the second movie and train Luke further. Mm-hmm. But because of how powerful Sir Alec McGuinness portrayed and everything, he felt like it would be a waste. And so he knew, based on some of the development he had done, that, if he had him get killed off, that he could still use him as like a Force ghost. And so he felt like it would be more powerful and more driving for Luke's character development to have Obi-Wan die.
Mm-hmm.
But then he had to figure out what's he going to do, because, a Force ghost can only do so much.
Right.
So that's when he decided to create this character of Yoda. And the main reason he created Yoda the way that he did was because it would be ironic that this little critter had all of this power and knowledge to train Luke,
right.
And that it would create that dynamic of intrigue. But he never developed the backstory on Yoda when he created him. And he's just kind of left it that way.
Oh, okay. I thought it was kind of okay. Well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we have because I did a Wikipedia search to see like if they had anything on what the species was or where they're from, and yeah, there's others. There are other, and I guess in the novels and things, there are other creatures from his species that fought in like the Old Republic and things like that, but yeah, still don't know where they're from, don't know like I think Yoda it seems like Yoda's kind of like one of the last ones, but Yaddle, how old she was, we don't know.
Well, and we also didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, am I misremembering, but didn't we have the voice of Yoda in this season where he speaks to Grogu and speaks to Luke? Am I misremembering that? Am I making that up?
I don't remember anything of that.
I could be. I've been watching so much different Star Wars stuff to like really get, like, I've been rewatching Clone Wars and watching Rebels. And
did you finish Bad Batch?
No. Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah. No, and more being, like we talked about, more being released tomorrow. So
yeah, we're gonna get much more content coming here shortly. So yeah. So overall, on the series Mandalorian, what do you think? What are you excited for a season 4 if there is one, or would you be okay?
Bro, either way, I'm good. Like, this has been, I mean, it was beyond my imagination. Like, it surpassed anything that I thought, and was even better. I mean, like, I think it was one of the greatest series out there, just like Star Wars, or just in general, like just the story itself was been very intriguing, and they kept a really good handle on things. I think with Dave Filoni and why am I forgetting
Jon Favreau?
Jon Favreau. I think especially what they've done with these past few series have been 100% amazing, because you're taking this world that we know, we love, and that's how you can tell that they are true fans of this work, because they're keeping it locked in everything that they've done, from Andor, Mandalorian, Book of Boba, coming with Ahsoka, coming with all these other things. They're expanding the Star Wars universe. I mean, and it was already pretty immense, just from the movies and some of the stuff that we've had previously, but now, making it even bigger, but still keeping everything. It's become bigger, but everything is still so tight, and that's what's awesome about it all.
Yeah, it's pretty laser focused, I would agree.
Yeah.
And speaking of really great series and development, here's one that is coming very soon.
This is me, Jack R. Abbott.
This is Nala, the French Quarter, for Christ's sake. Come on, Jack, it's hell out here.
Mr. Abbott? I understand you're looking to find a good story about murder. Something that might possibly stimulate that criminal mind of yours just came my way.
Can I gather all the tenants together and pray?
Damn, Emilia. Kill her!
I'll be careful this time.
I knew you could do it.
Just like an old pro, huh?
You girls in berserkly for a fling after you check this place out, or can anyone join the party?
What's going on, Jack? Bonnie Brown has killed several dozen bad guys, and her partner a few dozen more.
Come on, Bunny. Last night you said you were built for action. I want to see what you got. Let's disappear in the bedroom.
Let's get out of here.
The boss is gonna be pissed.
I know. Murder by Garlic.
Yeah.
From the Files of Jack R. Abbott, Murder by Garlic, dropping next Sunday, May 14th. So not this Sunday.
Next Sunday. But you also know what else happens on that Sunday?
No, what else?
We have an interview to do.
Oh, really? With who?
With our good friends at Pop Culture Kaboom.
That's right. We will be interviewed on Pop Culture Kaboom on May 14th at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
You'll be able to hear us from 7 to approximately 7 p.m. to 7:20 p.m. We get a little 20-minute segment to talk about Murder by Garlic, and you get to talk about it primarily since you directed it.
Yeah.
I'll be tagging along, representing 97 and Now Productions.
Yeah. So I'm excited because it's been a long time coming. So
Indeed.
Yeah, so
when did we record the voiceover on this? I don't even remember. Was it the end of last year?
Oh, yeah, because we finished.
I feel like we finished in like November.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while. So
it's called From the Jack R. Abbott, from the Files of Jack R.
Abbott. Yeah.
Murder by Garlic. So does that mean that potentially there are others?
That means there are others. So this is what we're right now, what we're in the process of doing. Well, so we have to get season 2 for Murphy's Inc. done. That is our primary focus right now. But once we also want to get a feel for so make sure you tell friends, family, check this out. We've posted it on our own pages. We've posted it on our 97 to Now page. We posted it on our Fat and Black Connection page. So we were trying to get the word out there. Tell as many people as you can, because we want to see what kind of response we get from this. If we get a good response on this, then we feel confident with moving forward with the others in the series. If we don't, well, I think this is a good spot, and it's I'm happy with it. And
there are already written in the can, ready to be produced, 8 other episodes?
Yeah.
And I think the writer, Jack McLaughlin, fantastic writer, he has something like 30 other treatments.
Right? He has a bunch of other stuff just ready to go. I need to reach out and talk to him again. It's been a little while, but last time we talked, he was like, "Yeah, I have a bunch of other stuff. So whatever you want, I got you." And he's been super cool with helping with just when I have questions, I can hit him up, and he's more than happy to help me out. And so he's been a great asset to have, especially as the writer of this series. And there's a lot more that can happen with this.
Agreed. So we will see what May 14th holds for that potential series, but for sure that'll be the premiere. You'll be able to hear it on knbc.org, or if you're in the Northern Nevada area, 95.1 KNBC.
Right.
So please check it out. Give us feedback. Let us know what you think of the series, of the show, because it is something we are considering developing into a full-blown series.
Yep.
So, James, as we're winding down here, one of the things that has already been being asked, because we did the cruise, we've got Disneyland coming up later this year.
Yeah.
Some folks want to know what the next big thing will be after that.
Already? Come on, people. Give us a chance.
People want to party with the Fat and Black Connection.
Apparently they do. And actually, lucky for you, our fat friend has actually been looking into some stuff already.
We've been talking about some stuff, and we are wanting to probably look to do a cruise again.
Yeah.
A little bit on the longer side.
Yeah.
But I think When we think about this last cruise we went on, it was an adventure, right? It wasn't your little 3-day puddle hopper down to Ensenada or something, right?
Yeah.
It was 7 days. We went to Glacier Bay. That was an experience, right?
You like I think we might have said this, but you see this stuff, you see some of this stuff on nature shows, and you're like, it's kind of awe-inspiring on those shows, but seeing it in person, I mean, that's like that's one of those divine moments. Like Mark said, that was an experience.
So for me, I thought if we're going to do a cruise again, which it seems like it's heavily wanted, is for us to do another cruise.
Okay.
I felt like we need to do an experience.
Right.
And what better experience is there than seeing one of the most amazing man-made things in the world that reduced worldwide travel significantly.
Yeah.
Created millions of jobs worldwide that a lot of people died working on, though. And that is a cruise to the Panama Canal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
because I know before you go, because I actually watched this whole little documentary thing on the Panama Canal.
Mm-hmm.
That was in itself, that was a feat.
Oh yeah, absolutely is.
And the fact that it's still, I mean, I'm sure they've made improvements to it, but along the same lines as the original, just the way it works, it's engineering feats, bro.
For sure. So we've got options because there's multiple cruise lines that do a Panama Canal cruise. And the one we'll start with who we went on last, which is Norwegian. I would be open to doing a Norwegian cruise again. I had a good experience. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive on in, shall we? So this is a 15-day cruise. This one is on the Norwegian Joy. It's a very similar ship to the Bliss. And this is they call it the Panama Canal, Mexico and Colombia to Los Angeles from Miami. Check a modern marvel off your bucket list during this unforgettable cruise through the Panama Canal. An overnight stay in Panama City gives you plenty of time to explore the region, from hanging with sloths and toucans in the Soberano National Park to discovering the history behind the Panama Canal and sampling delicious local cuisine. Then see baby sea turtles in Acapulco at the Sea Turtle Rescue Center and learn about this endangered species and possibly witness some being released back into the ocean. Journey from Cabo San Lucas into the Mexican outback to ride a camel along a white sand beach and then savor a traditional meal at a local ranch. So right now...
Wait, there's camels they have camels in Mexico?
Evidently.
Okay.
So right now, if you wanted to book this cruise, cheapest option, inside room, 15-day cruise, $1,550. You're talking about $100 a day.
Yeah.
And that also gives you your unlimited open bar, your excursions, your specialty dining, and your Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a pretty fair price. If you don't care where you're sleeping or staying, if you just want to get an inside room, $1,550 per person, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
We'll dive into some of the pricing in a little bit, but just kind of looking at the ports and everything. So it's 15 days, 9 ports, one amazing vacation. So you start in Miami, Florida, and you embark and sail away. Looks like it's at 5:30 p.m. You've got a couple of days at sea. And then you head to Cartagena, Colombia, and you've got a good amount of time there, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then on Wednesday, you're going to transit the Panama Canal. So throughout the day, you're going to be going through those different chambers in the Panama Canal, making your way across until you end up on the other side that night into Panama City.
Nice.
And it looks like you're in Panama City from 8 p.m. on Wednesday until 3 p.m. on Thursday. So you've got a good amount of time. You've got the evening and then the next morning.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you're at sea all day on Friday and head into Guatemala, Puerto Quetzal, and that's a good long time, 10 hours.
Yeah.
Then you got a day at sea, and then you're in Acapulco, Mexico for 7 to 5. So again, another 10-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Another day at sea, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So 13 hours.
Yeah.
Head to Mazatlan, Mexico for 12 hours. Then to Cabo San Lucas. That's a little bit shorter, and that's what they call a tender port. So that's where you've got to get on the little ship. You don't actually dock anywhere.
Oh, is that one? Oh, you jump on another and it takes you in. Okay.
Yep.
That'll be interesting.
So that's a little bit of a shorter day, but if you look, their shorter days are 8 hours. Not 3 hours in Victoria, British Columbia.
Bruh. That was most irritating. And
then you have a day at sea, and then you finally disembark in lovely Los Angeles.
Yeah,
so that's a 15-dayer. A lot of days at sea, but I think out of one side, that's a lot of days at sea, but out of the other side, I think that's nice because you can really take advantage of the things on the ship.
Yeah.
On our cruise, we really only had 2 days at sea where you would probably really take advantage of a lot of the stuff on the ship.
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody who works on the ship, and she was saying that I was asking about after we left. I was like, "Yo, was it smoother this time?" And she was like, "Yeah, surprisingly, it was a lot smoother than our trip was because we had some choppy seas." But yeah.
So the itinerary map, so you can see going from Miami down to Cartagena into the Panama Canal and across, and then up the coast to Los Angeles. So a lot of fun stuff there. And here you can see those prices. Now, of course, this is dated for March of 2025, March into April of 2025, which is not necessarily the dates that we're looking at yet.
Mm-hmm.
But again, your balcony room, for example, if that's what you wanted to do, less than $3,000 for 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good price.
What's a club balcony?
So club balcony, it's going to be a little bit bigger, but it doesn't really have. I wouldn't. To me, I don't feel like it's necessarily worth the additional cost because it doesn't include anything
extra. So it's there's no okay.
And as you can see, I've evidently broken the. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Here's a club balcony suite, kind of what it looks like. So you got a couch and a bed and a balcony. Perfect for families, located midship with easy access to everything. These club balcony suites feature 2 lower beds that convert to a queen size bed, sofa bed, and additional bedding for 1 and a private balcony. So 250 square feet, 42 square foot balcony located on decks 9 through 14 and midship.
Okay.
So again, it's not to me, and you can get a larger balcony for another $400.
Okay.
To me, I don't feel like it's necessarily worth the price, but I know that for some it surely is.
Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley.
Wow.
So, and here's some images from this ship, which is obviously not the Bliss, so looks slightly different.
Yeah.
The room layouts. It has a racetrack as well, and on theirs, it actually has side-by-side race cars, go-karts, where
they had like side-by-side. And
did they? I didn't see them on our cruise.
Yeah, they were apparently there. They ran different times, so there was, but yeah.
So this ship holds a couple hundred less. It was remodeled in 2020.
Oh, they got to stay. So are the restaurants the same, or are they a little bit different on this ship?
Let's take a look. We've got bars and lounges. I assume it's going to be the same, but observation lounge, humidor, cigar lounge, Starbucks, Skyline Bar, Horizon Lounge, Haven Lounge, Mixed Bar, Vibe Beach, H2O, Maltines Whiskey, Sugarcane, A-List, Cavern. So from a bar perspective, those are all the same. Let's take a look at dining. Ocean Blue, Manhattan Room, Savor, Taste, Garden Cafe, Haven, Teppanyaki, American Diner, Cagney's, Food Republic, La Cucina, Le Bistro, Q's. So it's pretty much the exact same.
Yeah.
Entertainment, they've got Footloose,
Ooh.
Wine Lovers the Musical, and Elements, whatever that is. They have the Galaxy Pavilion, which is it's kind of like a gaming where you 3D simulator. Okay. They've got laser tag in the Ocean Loop. They've got this, looks like pretty much the same spa and a lot of the same onboard shopping. So it's probably going to be a very similar experience to being on the Bliss. I don't think they're sister ships, but that's the Norwegian experience. The one that I actually my session timed out. Boo. So the one that I thought was kind of interesting is Princess. So I've heard really good things about Princess. One of the guys who was on the cruise with us, this last one, he had gone on a Princess cruise for his honeymoon. And so I was asking him, what was that experience like? Do you feel like it would be a good cruise line to do something like this? And he said, look into it. He highly recommends them. So good old SIBO. So I got the page back up. So this one is a 15-day Panama Canal connoisseur from Fort Lauderdale to Los Angeles. As you can see, their interior room starting price is $14.98, so just slightly cheaper than NCL.
All right.
Their itinerary is you go from Fort Lauderdale, a couple days at sea, go to Cartagena, Colombia, day at sea, Panama Canal full transit, day at sea. Then you go to Punta Arenas, Costa Rica. So that's actually kind of cool because I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica. Day at sea, go to Puerto Quetzal, Guatemala, then to Puerto Vallarta, and then Los Angeles. So you actually have less stops on this one, more days at sea.
Yeah. How long are you in those? How long do you?
Let's see. In Cartagena, you've got 13 hours. The Panama Canal full transit historic locks looks like that's 10 and a half hours. Then you've got in Costa Rica, you've got 12. In Guatemala, you've got 11. And at Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, you've got 9. So still, those are good amounts of time in each of those locations.
Yeah.
This is aboard their Island Princess, which was last refurbished in 2017. Guest capacity 2,200, so about 1,600 less than the ship we were just looking at. So it's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
One of the cool things that they have on their ships is what they call the medallion. So it's similar to like your card, right, that we had on NCL, except your medallion, you don't have to hand it to anyone. They have made their ships fully integrated technologically. So when you order a drink from a server, they come to you with a device and basically scan your medallion.
Wow.
So that's why you see in this image, they do sell like necklaces that you can pop your medallion into.
Nice.
So it's kind of like the Disney band, the Magic Band.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. From a dining perspective, they've got a bunch of different restaurants. They've got the Chef's Table Experience, Chocolate Journeys, Sabatini's, an Italian restaurant, Bayou Cafe and Steakhouse, La Patisserie, World Cup of Pastry, Princess Pizzeria, the Bar and Grill, the Horizon Court Buffet, and the Amuleta Cafe.
Okay.
Some activities, Discovery at Sea programs, that's for kids primarily.
Yep.
Festivals of the World, the Atrium, Shops of Princess, Art Gallery and Auctions, which we know all about. Photo and Video Gallery, freshwater pools and hot tubs, Sports Court, where they have basketball, volleyball and tennis. And then they also have a putting green on their ships.
Oh, nice.
Some entertainment. They have movies under the stars, original musical production. So you're not going to see Broadway shows, but you'll see Broadway-esque type shows. Music and dancing, Vegas-style casino, featured guest entertainers, Princess Theater, The Voice of the Ocean, Explorers Lounge, and Crooner's Bar.
That sounds kind of cool.
They've got, of course, got a spa. I've looked into this one. This spa is rinky-dink compared to what we had on the Bliss.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's pretty small.
Yeah.
And it's inside. The nice thing about the Bliss is it's at the very back of the ship. You have these beautiful picturesque views.
Yeah.
Where it looks like princesses' spas are usually inside. No windows.
Yikes.
For families, they've got a lot of great activities, youth and teen programs, which I will tell you, for me, probably I'm going to bring my kid. This was one of the things that makes me want to do Princess, is because they've actually partnered with Discovery to create their curriculum.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, yeah, overall $14.98 for an interior room. So a little bit cheaper than NCL, a little bit smaller than NCL. Definitely, I still think could be a great experience. But more days at sea. So that's kind of I don't know. Next one we have is Royal Caribbean, and this will be the last one we're doing. So we've got what do we have here? Oh, a chat bot. Oh, yay. Gotta love the chat bots checking in. Thank you. All right. So we've got a Royal Caribbean cruise. This one, for an inside, the cheapest room that they have right now, $14.81. So in line with that price point that we just saw. So let's take a look at the itinerary. This is a 14-night Panama Canal cruise starting in Tampa, Florida. You've got 2 days cruising, and then you end up in Cartagena, Colombia, where you're there for 8 hours. Okay. Then you've got Colón, Panama for 8 hours. Then you're going to be doing the actual Panama Canal for 12 hours. Then you've got 2 days at sea, head into Puerto Quetzal in Guatemala for 10 hours. And then you've got 2 days at sea, Puerto Vallarta for 10 hours. And then 2 days at sea, and then you're in Los Angeles. So, again, it's 1 day shorter overall, and a good amount of days at sea. 2, 4, 6, 8 days at sea. So, looking into the itinerary a little bit further, it's on the ship called the Radiance of the Seas. They've got a rock climbing wall, spa and fitness center, outdoor movie night, mini golf, and that mini golf looks legit.
Yeah.
The mini golf that was on the Bliss was
it was tiny.
Very disappointing. Food wise, they've got Izumi, which appears to be an exotic Asian inspired dining experience, Chops Grill, which sounds like they specialize in pork chops, I'm guessing, Giovanni's Table, Italian, and the Chef's Table. So then the nice thing about this one is it actually breaks down each day. It goes into, where you're at, some of the things that are in that area that you could do, or things you could do on the ship. Plan any way you like, showing all of the things on the ship. So I'm not going to go through this one in great detail just because there is a lot to take in. But I think, again, price point wise, a balcony, $3,200 on this ship.
How many? When was this? How many people can fit on this ship?
Let's see if we can get more information about the Radiance of the Seas. There we go. Linger longer, blah, 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 rock walls, overview. Things to do, deck plans. Come on. They've got a solarium, sip tour brunch, rock climbing wall, stage shows, beer activities, guest entertainers, live orchestras. Piano Man, City of Dreams, Original Productions, Teen Lounge, dance classes, Aquanauts, pub performances, fitness class, all access tours, pool tables, scrapbooking, table tennis, whirlpools, guest lectures, game shows, dancing under the stars, outdoor movie nights, sports court, live bands, babies and tots program, adventure ocean, arcade, Latin dance classes, theme nights, voyagers, folding artistry, solarium, captain's reception, pools, 70s disco party, learn a language, explorers, mini golf, art collection, wine tasting, rock climbing wall, art auctions, piano sing-alongs, jewelry making, club DJs, nightlife, card room, salsa dancing, sip tour brunch, mystery dinner theater, sushi making class, cupcake class, and pickleball. All of their dining, chef's table, cafe latte tudes, Windjammer, Samba Grill, Izumi, Doghouse, Chops Grill, room service, Giovanni's Table, Park Cafe, main dining room. Bars and lounges, looks like they've got a ton of those. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like they give
us a whole lot of, yeah.
Let's look at the deck plan, see if that explains the ship a little bit better. Nope, not really.
Wow.
Yeah, no, not so much. So that's rooms, book now. Yeah, they don't really tell you the size, the capacity. Yeah. So ultimately, folks, that's what we're looking at. We're trying to debate and decide on a Panama Canal cruise. We are looking at 2025. So a couple of years, probably late 25, I'm thinking. It looks like a lot of the Panama Canal cruises seem to happen during the winter time, either late fall, winter, or early spring.
Oh.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, I would prefer like the late fall, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I'd be down to do Norwegian again. I mean, either way, Princess looks pretty cool. I mean, all of them look pretty cool. I kind of wish that, what was that, Royal Caribbean or whatever, told you a little bit more, but
for someone's birthday, perhaps. Well, yeah, if we did, like a September-ish or October-ish, we could do a late birthday for James or others. How old are you going to be in 25?
I don't even want to think about it. Because I'm going to be 41 to 43? 44? 43, 44?
What year were you born?
82. Like I said, I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to do the math.
I don't want to get old.
Well, and I will say that the Bliss, for example, is another ship that does the Panama Canal cruise both ways, from Los Angeles to Miami and back.
Oh.
So, if we were to, let's say, do NCL again, I'd be totally down to do the Bliss again. I love that ship. I thought the crew was pretty dang good. There are things about it that I think could have been better, but there are obviously things that probably could have been worse.
Yeah.
So the Joy, obviously, I just wanted to look at a different ship. But
yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool to do it, it'd be nice to do the same ship, but might as well check something else out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said,
check another one in the fleet.
The flip side of that is if it's basically the same ship or same layout, then might as well. Because at least there's the possibility of seeing similar crew that were there before, and who's good, who's not, maybe.
Yeah.
Like for sure, if I got stuck at Savor with that server that we had that first night at sea,
it's
at the group dinner that first night before we went to Teppanyaki. Yeah, that server was pretty bad.
No, I thought you were talking about the server at Teppanyaki.
That too, that guy.
Yeah, that was, but other than that, I mean, I think everybody else was spot on.
But I do think in looking at the itineraries, between the three different ones.
That Princess one seems pretty. I mean,
it's hard because the Princess one gets you Costa Rica, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of days at sea. Where the Norwegian, and I'm pulling it up again. I apologize. Oh, come on. The Norwegian one, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days at sea. I'm sorry, 6 days at sea compared to the Princess, like which 6, 7, 9 days at sea.
Yeah, and the other one seemed like felt like there was more. And it was like a day shorter.
Well, and it was a day shorter. So yeah, I feel like NCL might have the best itinerary, even though you have that Cabo San Lucas day that's a little bit on the shorter side with a tender port. So it's going to take you a little bit longer to get off the ship and get back on the ship. And you have a little bit of a shorter day in Cartagena, Colombia. You only have 8 hours there. But I feel like because the only thing I will say that they offer at NCL that the other ones didn't offer at all is the Panama City actual stop.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, that's kind of important, I think.
Yeah.
So I would say looking at these three right now, the one that I'd be probably leaning on the most is the
Norwegian.
NCL.
Yeah.
But I think Princess is a close second. And I think Royal is a distant third.
Yeah, I think I think the first two are the ones.
So there are other cruise lines that offer Panama Canal that I'm going to do some research on, but these were the three that jumped out at me right away. And so definitely we're open to feedback. We want to do a group again, help people get good price, good discounts. And by the time we get to this, Murphy's Inc. season 3 will have been out.
And look, and the main thing too, I think with all this stuff, if you want to travel, you want to see stuff, you might as well do it with people you like. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes it a little bit more fun.
Or you don't have to hang out with us.
You don't. You don't have.
There were many people. So just to be clear, when we just did this cruise, we had like 45, 46 people on this cruise. There are many I didn't see the entire time.
Oh,
yeah. When you think about the group dinners that we did, we only had at one of the dinners, we had like 28 people.
Yeah.
So there were many people on this cruise that I didn't see at all.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize how many. Yeah. Cause I mean, I saw the ones that we saw quite a bit, but,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, other than that, I mean, I think regardless, I had a good time. You had a good time. I think pretty much most of the people with us had a good time, even whenever doing their own thing. And so you don't have to be just experiencing all that stuff. I mean, like alone Glacier Bay was dope. I mean,
well, and one of the things I can tell you right away about Norwegian, and so I've switched my view. I'm now looking at the Norwegian Bliss specifically. So this one, same cruise, same exact cruise, 15 days. Right now is at $1,099. Now, granted, this one is coming up a lot sooner. I think the date on this one is the end of this year.
Oh,
so that's part of why it's cheaper, right?
Probably.
But either way, the one thing that's important to understand is that when we book as a group, we have what we call buying power. And if you book and you put your deposit more than 450 days out, which we get 15% off.
Oh.
So when you look at that price we were looking at before, the $1,500, right? It actually is more like $1,275.
Okay.
So that's where, we want to get people, if you want to get out there and travel, you want to see the world, you want to have an amazing experience. We do a lot of fun stuff on these cruises, but we also, if you don't want to do it and you just want to hang out with your family, if you just want to go sit in a spa and do you the entire time, that's fine.
Yeah.
But still join us, get the discount.
You might as well get them discounts, baby.
That's right. So anyways, obviously we'll talk more about this as we get closer and start heading in that direction. But
hey, Brian, you can come on that one.
Well, that'll be if his then wife will let him. I mean, she's welcome too, of course. I'm not saying, Brian, you can come. Like,
no, I'm
James.
not saying. I'm just saying. I'm saying you'll be able to actually do this one because the last time they weren't. This one he says he wasn't able to because they're planning that trip to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
still waiting to see the photos from that.
Yeah.
Post
them, bruh.
So yeah, I think this could be a lot of fun. We should definitely, I would say, in the next couple of months, figure out which line we're going to do, start solidifying some dates.
You should put that. I maybe start with the page that we have now see if anybody's interested, and then of course put it on our page and see if we get some pickup there. See who might be interested in doing something like that. But I mean, and then also kind of whatever other, I don't know what other cruise lines do it, but I think I personally, I'm kind of down with the Norwegian thing because we already kind of got profiles there. So,
well, and what you're getting, the experience. Yeah. So, you do a different cruise line, and obviously that
can be a little bit different. Yeah. No, I mean, I think it would be either way. I mean, I think the Panama Canal would be something that's kind of, it's not something you're always going to see. That's definitely like Glacier Bay. That's not something you're always going to see. And now they're not even able to go through there now, or like not as far back as we went.
Yeah, there's certain parts they can't go into now.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll still get a nice experience, but you ain't gonna see everything that we saw. So
no, you won't. And
what? Actually, too, I was gonna say I would almost like to do something where we're up, up that way during, like, if they have anything during like kind of the winterish time, so we could see them Northern Lights, baby.
As a matter of fact, interesting that you brought that up. We actually had the Northern Lights here in Northern Nevada just right after we got back, like literally the day or two after we got back from. I didn't see it because it was at like 2 or 3 in the morning, but there are beautiful photos of the sky lit up in purples and stuff over Lake Tahoe.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, man.
Yeah. No, that's kind of cool. But yeah, no, regardless, I mean, that would be something that Panama Canal would be pretty dope.
I agree. And, it goes both ways. Like, there is the Los Angeles to Miami and the Miami to Los Angeles. But my thought is I'd rather do Miami to Los Angeles.
Get me closer to home.
So you got that short flight on the back end.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I'm okay with either way, but I mean, I don't know. I would kind of like to do the long flight, short flight. That would be kind of
that's kind of what I was thinking. And I was talking to Tyrus about this as well, because he's a part of the family here at Fat and Black. He makes us fatter and blacker. And so, I solicited some input from him, and he concurs that the Miami to Los Angeles is probably the better option. So,
well, you know what? What I mean, is it basically that itinerary flipped on its head?
Let's take a look, shall we?
Hey, might as well. We here.
We her. Give me just a moment, and I will pull that up. Let's see. Okay, so we are on the Bliss and leaving out of Los Angeles. Let's see. Okay, so from Los Angeles, view the cruise. I guess I should share my screen.
Yeah, I was like, pull it up, bro.
Sorry. Okay, here we go. So this is going the other way, 15-day. So you leave out of Los Angeles, you go to Cabo San Lucas for 8 hours, then you go to Puerto Vallarta for 9, then you have a day at sea, then you go to Acapulco for 9. Then you go to day at sea, then you go to Guatemala for 10 hours, day at sea, then you have you have longer in Panama City, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. the following day. Then you have your traveling through the Panama Canal. Then you've got Cartagena, Colombia for 7 hours. And then 2 days at sea, and you're into Miami. So it's a very similar experience. An hour less in Cartagena, more time in Panama City, and an hour less in Cabo San Lucas.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. That also sounds kind of good too.
Yeah, I think
either.
I think if you're purely looking at it from an itinerary standpoint, both are. I'd be fine with. It's more of a.
It's just the end. How do you want it to end? Do you want to end? Do you want to end in LA or do you want to end in Miami?
Because in my head, I'm like, okay, I could fly into Miami, a day or two before and check out some of the stuff around there. Where I'm not going to check nothing out in Los Angeles. I'd be flying in day of, and I'm not going to stay in Miami on the back end. I'm going to want to go home at that point. So to me, it feels like I'd rather fly into Miami a day or two early and go that way.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll figure it out. And again, if you have input, if you have thoughts, if you've done this cruise, we want that input. We want
let us know. Let us know.
We will be posting some thoughts up onto the Alaska Cruise Group page, and we'll put some polls out into the field.
We're just gonna keep the same group and just change the name of it.
No,
just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But no.
Also, hey, here's a random thing. If you haven't already, get your Facebook money. If you don't know, Facebook owes you money for sharing your private information. There was a $785 million lawsuit that Facebook now has to pay anyone who had an account with Facebook from 2007 through December 31st of 22.
Okay.
You're going to get paid.
Okay.
And if you do the math on 785 million divided by the approximately 200 million accounts, US accounts.
Okay.
You're looking at probably a couple grand payout.
Let me know. I need to know this.
I did share this information on my private Facebook page. So I can definitely throw the link up onto the Fat and Black page, but get your money.
Yeah, hell yeah. I want my money.
Facebook shared your information, and you only have until August to fill out the documents to make sure you are getting your cut.
Give me this now.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'd be okay with less people getting a cut because that means a larger cut for me.
Right. Nobody else knows about this. Just
yes. Only you here at the Fat and Black Connection are we sharing this information with.
Yeah. And
as Jenny points out, that could easily pay for your cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA night. Yeah.
All right, James, any last minute thoughts, questions, comments, concerns before we bounce on out of here?
May the 4th be with you.
Indeed. And may the 4th be with you, my friend.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.